My name is Scott Davies, I'm VP for Never.no. We provide a social interactive framework and a second screen interactivity and synchronization platform for broadcasters to be able to interact with their audience using social media, pushing data to the second screen, which in turn gives advertising and sponsorship opportunities outside of the main broadcast, but within the second screen environment as well. And I'll quickly show you a demo of how we can achieve that. So what we've got here is the idea of people at home watching the TV. They might be sitting down with their tablet, iPad, or even mobile phone whilst they're watching TV to get a second screen experience. And that second screen experience can be controlled by me as the broadcaster rather than them being online and going to websites themselves. So I can keep their attention, but I can also push content to them that might be relevant to my sponsor, or in terms of sales, advertising, could be direct sales based on content that they're looking at on the TV on the first screen. So what we've got here is broadcast going on. You can see on my second screen what we're actually doing is we're in synchronization with what's happening on the TV. So the score, the clock, everything's in sync. But what we can start to do as a broadcaster is I can start to push content to the audience at home. So with one very quick click, I can then say, well, we'll push the line out to the audience so they can start to interact with the line out. Now, this could be any content. Obviously, in the case of this, it's football. But this could be information on the presenter, on the person that's just come in, maybe on the car that's being presented on Fifth Gear or a car show or any other product. But it's secondary product about the main screen information. But I can take that away. Now I can start to push different types of content to the audience. So what if we're watching the game? Do you like what you're looking at? As a producer, I can create a poll. Now there's a poll made up on here. It's not very relevant to maybe the advertiser in this case, but I can quickly drive a poll and ask the audience a question. Now this question, where is Tokyo, could be sponsored, or it could be part of an advert. So let's say it's, in this case, sport. It might be Nike. They might want to ask a question based on what we're just watching. Now on my second screen, you'll see that that question that I've created is pushed to the second screen, to the audience, allowing them to interact and press the buttons to go back to the gallery at the studio. So all this can be branded. It could be the sponsor or the advertiser. It could be irrelevant to what we're watching on the first screen and purely about the product that's being used in the first screen. So once I've got all that information coming through, I can also then start to share the results to make this interactive and make it worth engaging with. That's going to give the advertiser a lot more brand awareness than just sharing content. So I can see the results coming in on my interactivity desk. And now with one click, I'm going to share those results both with the audience at home and with the people on the second screen. So if you can see the two things side by side, I can say, show the results. The results are on the main screen, the results are on the second screen as well. So that means I'm now getting the audience to engage. That means I've got their focus. That means they're not distracted. Again, if this is branded, you're going to get a lot more brand awareness than you ever would, sponsoring the front or the end of the show. This also means I can do things interesting with chat. So I can start to look at things like Twitter, Facebook, SMS, and I can harvest that content and publish it to the screen. So very quickly I can find content, I can push it to the screen on the first screen. It also means I can push it to the audience at home on their iPad. Now again, great sponsorship opportunities for this, but also great ways of actually getting that content. In the case here, we've just asked people to talk about football, and we're finding that content and putting it on screen. But there's no reason that that content couldn't be sponsored by an advertiser to say, well, if you want your content to have the chance of being moderated and go onto screen, you have to start your message, hashtag, Diet Coke or hashtag Mars Bar. Then we can pick up that content, moderate it, and choose to present it on the first screen and the second screen, whether that has the client's logo, whether that's relevant in the country that's being used in, but definitely on the second screen, because on the second screen we haven't got the same issues that we have with the broadcast rights on the first screen. So it really gives us the opportunity to do something more than just advertising the traditional way. We're getting the audience to really get involved with the brand in an interactive manner. Now, of course, the other thing that we're doing with advertising is being able to take triggers to make the second screen more interactive when the advert comes on. What we will see here at the end of the football game is we would see the advert coming on. We would take a trigger, the Coca-Cola advert would come on, and people would generally probably go and do something else in the traditional way of watching TV. However, with the second screen, they're obviously immersed in what they're doing on here. We've got all sorts of data coming in. Now, if I was to force the advert, and I'm not going to force the advert on the first screen, but I'm going to force it onto the second screen. So if we can imagine we've gone to commercial, we take a trigger, and on my console here, I'm going to push the commercial. Now Coca-Cola is on the first screen, Coca-Cola is now on the second screen. But instead of just pushing the same old ad, I now have a chance to interact with the ad, maybe put in my phone number, whatever that may be, press get it. Now I've got an SMS sent to my phone. It's got a voucher code maybe, or an offer that I'm now getting benefit from interacting with it. So this is all about audience participation to strengthen the brand. You know, it's awareness, it's interaction, and of course it's data collection for the sponsor or advertiser, which becomes very relevant once the show is over. That's our framework.